No, me, she doesn't have that on her ear. Anyway, isn't it good that I don't do this? My husband does this. Lie about it. And you know what, I'm not going to, I'll go this way. One thing I wanted to say real quickly though. In 1959, I was at Blue Mountain College, North Mississippi. Blue Mountain's maybe about this big around. I mean, it's a very little girls' school, and Baptist girls' school, and that's where I was. And I was in public speaking class, and I chose for my subject living in a goldfish bowl, because I knew that I was going to be living in one. Because the next month we were going to be married, and I was going to be a preacher's wife. My college roommate at Blue Mountain thought she was supposed to marry a preacher. She didn't. So, but every time we were together, after that point, when I knew thought she was supposed to marry a preacher, she'd tell me, with my preacher husband, she'd say, "I am so glad I did not marry a preacher." Well, that made me feel great. But anyway, that was just one of those little things that we dealt with. But you know, the goldfish bowl, there is one, isn't there? We know that we're swimming in one right now, all of us. And we don't ever want to disappoint anybody in us, in our husbands, but also we do not want to disappoint our Lord. And so, as Christy said, certainly as our panel, Tanya said, that's our number one priority, is to stay close to Jesus. And I wish I could tell you that as I was lying there in that bed all those weeks, almost 2 months, and then even when I got home, same thing, but for a while. But you know, I knew that he was there. I knew he was there. But I can't say I had a special, vision of him. But I knew. I just knew I had that strength, even though I was pretty not knowing anything. But really, I had at my last here. So I'm just going to go in and say that, because I wanted you all to know how much I appreciate your praying for me. Many, many of you have, and I feel like maybe you all have. I wouldn't even doubt that. I know that God healed me, and I don't know why in particular, and I almost feel guilty sometimes when I know someone has gone through an illness and then a death, and they're thinking, well, why did she live and my loved one didn't? You really do. You just, because I don't know either. I don't know myself. But I just know that from your prayers, I do believe that they were answered, and I just thank you. A lady from the West Campus wrote me when I was still in the bed, and she said this. She said, "I want you to know that it's really hard being a miracle." And I didn't quite understand what she meant, but I kept in my mind. And I realized as people would say to me, I've really prayed for you. One lady said, "I got up in the middle of the night and I went to my closet and prayed for you." I mean, that you just want to, throw your arms around them and thank them, but you just feel like maybe you're not thanking them enough. But I do want to say to you, I do thank you for doing that. And one of the verses that I have clung on to, and I feel like all of the panel, many of us in this room, we do have problems. We have temptations. We have things that are very difficult for us, for our children. And yet, if we can just remember this,